So we're basically covered in like a million confetti, but it was worth it. I think I have confetti on me. This is my computer right now. Okay, so I'm back. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I graduated from college. We had to put on, I studied fashion design, and we had to put on like a runway show with our final project. So it was really hectic for a while, but I did film it. I did try to vlog it, I think, with my phone. So it's not really high quality, but it will be at the end of the video, like the day of the graduation and the runway show. So today I come to talk to you about my whole college experience. Maybe some of you are done with college and feel the same way and can relate, or maybe some of you are in college right now, and maybe some of you are thinking of getting into college. So that's where this kind of video is. I'm gonna try to make like a quick story of my relationship with college, because then I want to talk about what I went through when I, was in college. So, when I was little, I never really thought about college much. I wanted to be a singer and an actress. So I always thought, like in my delusional little mind, that something would eventually happen. I mean, I wasn't trying too hard because I was from a small town. I couldn't go to auditions and stuff like that. So that never really came easy to me. And my mom was not the biggest supporter. So she would not really drive me to auditions and stuff. So I always figured that something would eventually happen to me and I wouldn't have to go through with a college plan, when I was planning my whole future, when I was like 10 and thought I would marry at 21, dear Jesus, I never thought that college would really get into my plan. It wasn't really something I thought about, but time passed and I didn't really have a plan and nothing happened. I didn't get discovered, so I had to go to college. And I remember thinking, because I don't know how it is in your countries, but in Portugal, when you're in the 9th grade, and when you're before you go to the 10th grade, you have to pick like an area of interest. So I didn't really feel strongly about any of those areas. I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be a dancer, I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to be a performer. I always wanted that since I was a little girl. Between all of them, the one I hated the least was plastic art, because it was art and because it was still something that, I didn't feel very sciencey, and I just thought that, I'd love to create and that arts was the best fit for me. And I remember telling my mom I was going to choose arts, and that was a big, oh my god, oh no moment for my mom and for my family in general, because they were all very sciencey, engineer types, my whole family. So I had a big fight with my mom. It was shouting everywhere. She was not the biggest fan, and I'm probably painting my mom like a monster, but my mom is really amazing and really caring and the best mom in the world. But she is not the best supporter when it comes to arts in general. She just wished I was a doctor or something. Anyway, so I had the biggest fight with my mom, and she told me, like, if you're going to arts, you're going to study architecture, and there's no two ways about it, because that's the least artistic, liberal profession within arts. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, so, I was like, okay. So I went off, and I didn't have any idea of what I would be learning. I just kind of went with the flow, and I don't know how I did that, because that usually is very scary for me, but I don't remember feeling scared or anything. I just thought, I'm gonna do this and we'll see. And the first year was really, really easy, so I did it, no problem. And then the second year, it started to get really technical, and I was like, what the hell? So I flunked my second year. I forgot to mention it. When you go to a college in Portugal, you already have like a major decided. It's not called a major, but you go to a specific course. I went to a specific architecture course. I hated it. I hated architecture. I had no visible love for it. Like, when I was out of class, the last thing I wanted to talk about was architecture, and that was not normal. Especially because it's a very difficult field and course to take, because you have to really be invested in it. You have to love it. It's very arduous. It's very time consuming. You don't have basically a life when you're studying architecture. And I hated it. So I was always crying and having meltdowns and everything. So I remember this one time we were doing a project and I was really hitting the walls because I had no ideas. I've always think of myself as a really creative person, or somewhat creative person. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But when it came to architecture, I just really felt blocked. Like I couldn't possibly know anything about it and do anything about that. So I called my mom crying, as per usual. And she was like, kidding. She never let me quit. She always pushed me to the hardest. And then, like, I think kind of in a joke, because she never thought that I would actually do it. She said, like, okay, if you're this unhappy, then you should quit. And I was like, okay, I can quit. And I did. The rest of the year, I did basically nothing. I took a year for myself to try and figure out what I wanted. I also studied to redo my high school exams to get in again. I think if my mom hadn't pushed me, I probably wouldn't have entered another course and go to college again. But I did. I was like, you know, I kind of like fashion design. I really like fashion. I like creating. I think this could be fun. And, you know, I like it. So I applied, I got in, and 3 years later, here I am. But I'm just gonna, quick warning, like right here, even my cat is upset about this. If you're in Portugal and you want to study fashion design, do not apply to the University of Lisbon for that. The architecture college of the University of Lisbon. Do not apply there. It's a total hellhole. It's so, I can't even explain, because if I try to explain how bad it is, I'd probably be here all day, and believe me, just don't do it. If you like your life and if you like yourself, just run fast and run far, because that is possibly the worst learning experience I've ever had. It's such a disorganized course. The teachers badmouth each other to us. They badmouth us to other students. Like, we're always getting mixed information from them. They don't teach us as they should properly. There are very few rare exceptions, but they're always like tearing us down, and they're not explaining, you know, the concept of fashion design, which is so, it's not futile and it's not superficial. Fashion can be so deep and meaningful, and it can have so many meanings and concepts and cultures and everything. It's so rich. They teach you the ways of fast fashion, which was really not what I was expecting, because fast fashion is so devastating and so wrong and so cruel and such a mess, that I think they should look into that, but also explore the more artistic, conceptual kind part of fashion that I did not get at all from that course. But it's a horrible course, and if you're in Portugal, don't do it. I'm gonna talk about college like now in a general sense. So I do not agree really with college, and I don't know what it is. I think I'm a really active person, and I like to do different things, and I like to always be experimenting. But when you put me in a routine where I have to do like I have to draw a collection from in a month, and then in another month draw another, I just can't handle that. It puts a strain on me, and I don't know. And also my environment in my specific class was horrible. I had a huge difficulty kind of settling in, because they were 4 years younger than me. But still, I don't know, I just felt like, people in fashion are so exhausting and so cruel and so demanding and so divas. They're divas. There's no two ways about it. And while I went to, I don't exactly remember how it started, but I kind of fell into a depression, and I just felt myself like not caring about life at all, and I was always tired, and I was sleeping, and I was crying. I would cry for anything, like seriously anything. If I I once ran to a bus and I didn't catch it, and I started crying, bawling my eyes out in the middle of the street. I mean, it was to a point where I didn't realize it, and it was so stupid because I had a depression before, a light one, but I didn't realize when I entered this one, and I always thought I would recognize the signs in myself, but I did not, and I kind of I went to a lot of doctors because of my sleep schedule. It was all messed up because of the depression as well. So I don't know, but I was talking to my mom. I was telling her about my day, how horrible it was, how I started crying out of nowhere again. And she was like, you know what? Maybe you have a depression. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense now that I think about it. So I started puzzling everything together, and it really just made a lot of sense. And what was worth was that I never really had many friends in college because, as I said, people are turds, and I didn't really make a connection to a lot of people. I did have a connection with a girl that kind of left me high and dry. When I started getting really depressed, she kind of, she left me. She kind of thought that I was being a downer, and I was down. And I get that being around me wouldn't be that much fun, but still, she kind of abandoned me, and I was just kind of going through the motions alone, and, home, college, home, always being really super depressed, and it was hell. So finally I started taking medication, and now I'm so much better, and I'm glad that I did, because I don't know if I could take the pace of graduation if I had continued down that murky road. But yeah, so I think key thing about college, this video has no content now, I realize. It's kind of just me talking about my problems. I think that college could be great for a lot of people, but I also think that some people are not meant for college. And in Portugal, if you don't have a degree, it's really hard to do something with your life. But I know there are countries where it's easier. And I'm not saying don't go to college. I mean, if you love college and if you love education, you do it. And I know that I'm a better person for having gone to college, but I think I would have been happier, and perhaps I would have already figured myself out if I took some time for myself before that. Because I was so fresh and such a green little baby when I graduated high school that I had no idea what life would entail in college. And I had no idea how much it would change me, and I had no idea what I was in for. So my mom would never allow this, to take a gap year. But if you can take a gap year, it's like, if you can, and if you feel like you need to, because if you have your life figured out by the end of high school, then, oh my God, kudos for you, because I still don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't have a clue where I'm going. But if you have your life figured out, then go for it, and you grab it, and you go, and you run. But if you're feeling really confused, or if you don't know what to do, I think a gap year is something that I wish I could have had. I also want to say, because I know that some people don't have the money to go to college, I just want to say, don't beat yourself down about it. I mean, you can do so many great things without a degree, and you can learn so much more, I think. I mean, you get a lot of theoretical education in college, but you don't really get what you need to, be active and be good and be the best in life. And there are so many things that you can do besides going to college to have a bright future. So don't let yourself get down. And if you're in college and you're kind of in a dump, kind of like I was, I just want you to, take a moment to think about things. And, if you're not happy, you change it. A lot of people still ask me, why didn't you just first graduated architecture and then moved on? And I'm like, well, first, because I was really unhappy, and if I had to stay there for longer, I would have probably crashed and burned real fast. And then second, because why? Just to have a title on my resume saying I'm an architect when I really don't want to have anything to do with it? That's silly. Don't forget titles. Just do what you're passionate about. And I know that sometimes can be complicated because, some things don't pay the bills. But try to find a compromise, which is kind of what I did, I think. I don't know. I don't have a job yet, so I don't know. So yeah, that was a big ball of mess. And I basically didn't say anything. But I hope that I brought you a little light into what I've been going through the last 7 years. So without further ado, I'm gonna put some of the footage from my graduation day, which was actually the runway show, the preparation, and yeah. Hi guys, so I am officially leaving the house to graduate today, and it is so exciting, and I'm gonna try to film a lot of stuff for you guys to see. This is the place. It's right here. It's kind of an abandoned building, so it's really kind of in scrapes here, but on the inside it's kind of cool. It doesn't have a toilet though, so. The backstage area right now. Check it out. Just came back from lunch and this is a mess. It's really hot, and you know, you can see my under eyes. That's how much I've been working lately. But yeah, I haven't been able to show you the fittings because, you know, models were naked and such, so I'm not gonna show that. A lot of hard-working people here, and so much drama. It's seriously, the fashion world is a drama world. Like, there has been so much drama today, more drama than I think in the whole year. Fights kicked off, I was involved, people were bitches, including me. I said lol really loud once, very sarcastically. So yeah. So people have started to come in, and my mom's already here, and it's kind of filling up. We're putting more chairs because so many people coming. Let's check out. Like, honestly, so many people are here. This is crazy. In the middle of the show. They're totally coming by me, the guys from the first menswear. They're like, yo! Total fuckboy! Okay. And now I can officially say I'm graduated, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. But upside is I don't have to deal with those turds anymore. I'm diva free right now, except for my cat. He's a little diva. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you can relate on any way, and if you have any questions about this, any questions about college, or any questions about my college in specific, if you're from Portugal and you want to study fashion, holla at me in the comments down below. I will be back next week, but the videos are gonna be pre-filmed because I'm going on a trip to Mexico, and I was thinking about vlogging it. What do you think? Would you like to see a vlog of that? Because, you know, I think it could be fun, you know. Bye!